Morning and welcome you all for this webinar, which is the first webinar of 2021. Um, Welcome, Dr. Ashis Pani. Thank you for joining us. I know you are in a very busy schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you one of the most powerful dions of management education, Dr. Ashish Pani, today with us.
All of you. Thanks, Ram, for inviting me to talk to all the alumni and the students. So my research area, my teaching area is information systems. So I'll be talking about digital transformation. That's what I communicated. So how lead digitally organizations? That's what my focus of the topic. So let me share my slide so that so this is what I'm going to talk about: leading digital, turning technology into business transformations. Now, when you go to organizations, some people are working, some people will be working. So normally in a day, we use different IT systems. We use different category of IT. Now, the MIS research, the IS research for last 60, 70 years, they classified all the IT systems into three categories. That's what the first category is function IT. Now, what do you mean by function IT? The IT systems you use in the organizations to do your regular day-to-day functions. Take an example, suppose you are working in the accounts department, possibly you are using spreadsheet. Suppose you are working in the forecasting department, you are simulating how the organization will look at 2025. So the first category of IT is that function IT. IT that assists with the execution of the task in normal working day. The next category of IT, I don't have to say, without that you will be not able to leave for a minute. That's called network IT. That's what IT that facilitate the interaction among yourself. That's what you use a lot of applications to communicate to your friends, to your teachers, so to your family members. And the third category of IT, which I will request all of you to focus on, like you use enterprise softwares in the organizations, like ERP, supply chain management, customer relationship management. So what processes you use in the organizations that is implemented in the software? So that's what the third category is, enterprise IT. I will request all of you to focus on this part, IT that specify the business processes. What is your business processes? You try to incorporate that into the systems. When you buy a ERP systems, whether it is SAP or Oracle, you try to build your processes into the systems, even in supply chain and customer relationship management. But the new enterprise IT systems which currently you are using or you will be using when you work for the organizations is SMAC. SMAC stands for Social, Mobile, Analytics and Cloud. All of you are using extensively these four things. Each individually is a very powerful tool: social, mobile, analytics, and cloud. But if you use this together, use it as a stack, it will have a multiplier effect. I repeat, if you use it as a stack, it will have a multiplier effect. Now think about situations like maybe when you were in school in 5, 6, class 5, class 6, that time internet was not available. The Google which you use now is not available. A topic is given to you to participate in a debate. You have to speak on that topic. As I said, there is no Google, no internet. Where from you get the content to know about that? Because that's a buzzword which has been given to you. You don't know much about that. So where you get the informations? So you go to the library and go to the Wikipedia, go to the all the encyclopedias are there. That's what you go to library, go to the encyclopedias and try to get details about the information about that. I'm not testing whether you have gone any time to library and seen That's what the habit of going to library has drastically reduced. I have seen the students have it. Now, if you today a topic is given to you and you want to know more about it, so you go to Google like a library and go to Wikipedia. That's what first one I'm talking about. Go to library, look for an encyclopedia. Second situations I'm talking about, go to Google, try to look into Wikipedia. So I'm trying to compare two companies. One is Encyclopedia Britannica, which is one of the best encyclopedias, which is 253-year-old company. And one is a 20-year-old company, Wikipedia. Try to see how to compare these two. So that's what it's a 20-year-old company, Wikipedia, and 253-year-old company, Encyclopedia Britannica. If you see, the languages used, articles used is 65,000 in Britannica. Here it is 4 crores 86,000. Languages used 1. Here it is 271. Words used is 40 million. Here words used is 2 billion. Updated annually, you know how Wikipedia is updated. If you know that some information about your institute is someone has put, it's wrong, you can also correct it. So it is done in real time. Mistakes per article here little less, 2.92, because it is centrally updated, and 3.86, that's Wikipedia, anyone can update. That's what the number of mistakes is a little more, but the cost of Britannica is $729, and now Wikipedia you are getting free. Now the last time they reprinted the Encyclopedia Britannica in 2013, and I'm sure they will not go to reprint again, because you are getting free the same information you are getting in free. Why you buy by paying $729, and it takes a huge space in the library. So what my point here is that a company, a new entrant into the field, they have used technology and killed a player which was existing for so many years. 253 years old company, it's not a new company. Now, if you talk about the same situations into the other situations, you can think about some of the companies which was doing exceptionally well at one point of time, and they are no more exist in the market. Like for example, first thing comes to mind, everybody's mind is that when you go for a picnic, you take Kodak cameras for photography. Now Kodak is no more existing in the market. If you think about movie rentals, Blockbuster was the market leader. Now you go to Netflix. So that's what Netflix knows more about you than you know about yourself. They try to recommend the movies which you will like. So again, I'm talking about this, that book retailing, Border was the market leader. Now you go to Flipkart or Amazon to buy books. Movie rentals, Blockbuster was the market leader. Now you go to Netflix. Nokia, you know that market share was very high. That has come down drastically. Market share is not high. Kodak photography, Kodak I was telling, now they no more exist in the market. So what I'm referring to again to the previous slide and this slide, the technology is one of the biggest thing in the market today. So that's what, and if your company is not using technology, your peer will do well and you will no more exist in the market after some time. So that's what I'm referring to. Today, it's not digitizing the product. What I'm referring to, digitizing the product is that suppose a book is there. I convert it to an ebook and circulate it in the COVID time. I'm not referring to that. But digitization of the entire business model. I'm stressing on the word, the last part, digitization of the entire business model. Like you think about Uber, you think about Ola, you think about Airbnb. So all these things totally business model is digitized. It's not that digitization of the product. So that's what I'm referring to. So technology is the biggest thing business today. Technology is the biggest thing in today. Do you want to hear the voice of your customers? It's yes. So if it is yes, which technology will help you to hear the voice of your customers? It's the social media. Now, do your people available and productive no matter where they are? In COVID time, possibly you will see that people are working from home. Typically in the software industries, because of this space limitations, many people work from home. So the technology which will allow you to do that is that mobile computing that makes it possible. So you can work from home and you can participate in the organization's work. Now, want better focused on decision in key areas? Yes, because that's what you collect a lot of data and do the analytics on this to find out a pattern which you will use it for your organization benefit. That's what I'm referring to, promise of big data and analytics. Now, many people are working as a startup. Suppose you have a very innovative idea, you want to plan to start a company. So if you want to start a company, possibly initially idea was that you have to have your own infrastructure to create on premise. Now, any startup will not think about creating an infrastructure on premise. He will go to cloud services. That's what that's what I'm referring to. That standard assumption was that you have to have your own server, own applications to use. That has gone. You have to go to a cloud service provider like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure and get that cloud infrastructure to continue your business. Because startups' main problem is that 3 to 5% of the startups exist after 1 year. So if you are using a cloud service, backtracking is much easier. That's why possibly people who are successful, they're not successful with the first idea. Maybe when they are implementing fifth or sixth idea, they are successful. That's what, so you want to, so are you ready to go for the second machine age? That's what first machine age I'm referring to the industrial revolutions. And second, I'm referring to the digital revolutions. That's what I have shown you in the previous 2-3 slides, that unless you focus on technology, you will no more exist in the market. So you want to be a digital master. So if you want to be a digital master, what you have to do? Are you ready to be a digital master? If you want to say yes, then what you need to do so that you become a digital master? Again, a question will come that if I become a digital master, what is the benefit I'm getting out of it? Of course, I have seen in the previous 2-3 slides that if you don't focus on technology, then possibly you will no more exist in the market. Now, let me tell you that what do digital masters do differently? That's what digital masters use technology better than their competitors. Digital masters more profitable than their peers. One study has been done in MIT. They collected 184 organizations' data and they find out the organizations who are digital masters, how they perform. That's what I will show you in this slide, that how they perform, exactly what the data they collected. Digital masters see technology as a way of change. Size of the investment is not important, but the impact. What is the impact is creating the organizations? That's more important. So how can you become a digital master? That the question is that these are the benefits of a digital masters, but how can you become a digital masters? Any idea, anyone want to comment on this? Any participant want to comment on this? How can you become a digital master?
Participants can unmute and respond, or probably leave it on the chat, whatever you want to probably say. We will read it out for you. There was a question
Okay.
that was asked. How can you become a digital master?
Okay.
Maybe
So
trying out new technologies and adapting even small amount of technologies that might be suitable for your company or for your product.
okay, let me take the Minaki's point. So let me continue with the dimensions of digital mastery. So I'm referring to when you become a digital master, you have to focus on 2 dimensions. One dimension is what she was referring to, Minaki was referring to, that digital masters excel in 2 critical dimensions. One is that what of technology, which you call digital capability of the organizations. You want to improve the digital capability of the organizations, like you focus on IoT, you focus on blockchain, you focus on AR, VR, whatever the technology, you are the domain expert, you try to find out which technology will be suitable to improve your performance. The second one is very important. Just improving digital capability will not take you to be a digital master. Second one is that which should logically come into your mind, that how the leading change, which you call leadership capabilities. So two dimensions I'm repeating, that digital capabilities and leadership capabilities you have to improve in the organization so that you can be a digital masters. Now you can have a question that if I focus on one, if you can focus on one dimensions, you will get benefit. But if you want to get the full benefit, you have to focus on two things. That's what I'm referring to. Each provides a personal advantage, and taken together, they combine to be a digital masters. Now, organizations live in four different areas. That's what I was referring to, two dimensions. One is the digital capability, which she said that you improve your technology. I also repeated that you try to improve your digital capability depending on what domain you are working. Is it healthcare? Is it retail? Is it manufacturing? You have to find out the relevant technology which will be useful to improve your performance in the organizations. And second dimensions I'm talking about, leadership capability. The first one is the beginners. Now beginners, they don't do anything new in the organizations. Why they don't do new implementation in the organizations? They will wait others to do it. So when others will do it and others will get benefit, then only they will implement in the organizations. That's what I say, that wait and see strategy. That's what they say. If I will not implement a new technology in XLRI, I will see whether ISB has implemented or any other business school has implemented the same technology. And then if I'm happy, then I will implement that in XLRI Jamshedpur. Every time any technology comes, they say that this is opportunity is right for others. It's good for manufacturing organizations. It's good for retail organizations. This may not be in an academic institute. We cannot implement that. We cannot use that. And regulations and privacy is excuse. Now, I was referring to cloud software. So you try to put your data in the cloud. You put your data in the cloud. So many times patient information is very confidential in the healthcare industry. Now, when you put the patient information in the cloud, they think that it may be compromised. So if people will see that information about the patient, so they will try to see government regulations, and anything they find out, they will not implement that in the organizations. That these are the beginners. Second group of people are fashionistas. From the name itself, you can make out they are fashionistas to buy everything new comes to the market. That's what you see. Some of your friends buy every new apparel comes to the market, but they don't wear many times. So that happens to fashionistas. They buy everything new comes to the market. And if you see that they are good in digital capability, that's what they buy everything new in the market. They are very weak in the leadership capability. That's what if you see, they buy everything new in the come to the market. Lack of strong digital leadership. That's what they are little weak in this axis, and impairs the unified view of operation. That's what they implement everything, but they don't combine everything. That's what if you don't integrate well, then possibly you will not get the benefit. The third one is the conservatives. From the name itself implies they're very conservative. Suppose a tool, a technology which has 195 positive things, 5 negative things. They will look to those 5 things. They will not implement that new technology. That's what if you see excess prudence prevents, they will try to find out all the negative side of the technology tool. They will not implement. Have the digital leadership capability, but improving the digital capability, they're little poor. That's what find it hard to mobilize the management to invest in the digital technologies. Now, the last quadrant, which all of us are interested to be a digital master. So that's what exploiting digital advantage, outstrip competitors in performance, and strong in both dimensions. They are in both dimensions. I'm again referring to both dimensions means digital capability and leadership capability. Now, questions may come to your mind that what is the benefit an organization will get when they improve these two dimensions, digital capability and leadership capability. Let us quickly look into that. So that's what I was referring to this a study which has been done in MIT for 184 organizations. That's what if you see here, revenue generation efficiency, these are the beginners, these are the fashionistas, these are the conservatives, these are the digital masters. So revenue generation efficiency for digital masters is 9% more, plus 9%. And profitability, these are the beginners, fashionistas, conservatives, and digital masters. So it is more profitable for companies who become a digital masters. So maybe someone must be thinking, which companies are in this classes? Of course, this study has been done in 2017-18, so it is a little late. People have changed their quadrants. So beginners, they talk about manufacturing. Of course, manufacturing organizations are now implementing tool technology to improve the productivity. The consumer packaged goods, pharmaceuticals, these are the beginners. Fashionistas that travel in hospitality companies, telecommunication companies. Conservatives are utility and insurance companies. Digital masters are high technology, retail, and banking companies. And you know that all the banking financial institutions, how much they have implemented on technology to close to the customers and give good services to the customers. That's what, and retail industry also you must have seen how much technology they've implemented to become better and better. Now, building digital capability, it will have an influence on these three areas. Building digital capability, differentiate your company through three broad categories of digital capability. That is customer experience. First one is customer experience. Second one is operational processes. And third one is business model. When I refer to customer experience, what do digital master do differently? That four related interventions they do on the customer experience. That's what first one said, that understanding the customer behavior and designing customer experience from outside in. So from the outside the organizations, you see how is the behavior outside in. Second one talks about use digital technology to increase the reach and engagement through smart investment in channels. I repeat, to use digital technology to increase the reach and engagement through smart investment in channels. I will give examples so you can think a few more examples which will fit into this. They put customer data at the heart of the whole customer experience. And finally, they try to seamlessly mesh the physical and digital experience, because many people do offline transactions, many people do online transactions, and many other channels. So they try to integrate all the channels. Now, first one is that understanding customer behavior, designing customer experience from outside in. What are the things when you improve the digital capability, how it will impact this? That's what systematically get deep insight into customer decision and usage journey. That's what in the marketing you will study more about it. How do the customer behave before, during, after the interactions with your company? How they behave during, after, and interaction with your company? What are the pain points? How can you alleviate them? But digital capability here, the fourth bullet point is important for our discussion, is that what part of the experience can be digitally enhanced? That's what other things you can do without the digital experience, but which are the pain points the customer is facing, and how can you alleviate those problems using digital tools, digital technology can be digitally enhanced. That's what the first point about the customer experience. Second one, talk about creating reach and customer engagement. Creating reach, improving the reach and customer engagement. I'm taking the example of Starbucks. Let us take, all of you have taken coffee in Starbucks. Now what Starbucks do is that they have a idea site. They have an idea site. You are a regular coffee drinker of Starbucks. In that idea site, you have proposed a new drink, and that will be vetted by all the drinkers of coffee in Starbucks. if it is vetted highest, that drink will be offered in Starbucks stores. So here the objective is that how to improve the engagement with the customers using technology. That's what my point is, that use digital technology to engage the customers. And I'm referring to ideas site, customer submit ideas to improve its product. Community can vote for the idea. If community will vote for the idea, and that will be used as a drink in the company. The third example is that putting customer data at the heart of the experience. That's what uh, people use. So digital masters rely heavily on data-driven insight. So Caesars Entertainment, what this company does is that they try to find out your location from your mobile device. They will try to find out your location from your mobile device, and they will try to give a free offer to you. Suppose you are in New York and you want to visit a opera, and opera's tickets are costly $200, $300 depending on how popular is that opera. And looking to the location from the mobile device, they will give a free ticket to go to the opera. If you are close to the Eiffel Tower with your family, they will give a free ticket to visit to the Eiffel Tower. So in this way, they can find out, they can bring a better relationship with the customers. That's what mobile location data delivers special offers to the customers, so that they will have a better relationship with the organizations. That's what in different situations they use. Of course, Capital One used 20 million Visa and MasterCard purchase history to understand the customers. That's what many people do it. That's what I was talking about, that data, what we call now big data. They collect it. All the transactions people have done, they will try to find out a pattern of transactions from these transactions, what you have done in last 3 years. That's what putting the customer data at the heart of the customer, at the experience. The last one is the messing physical and digital experience. That's what they try to mess the physical and digital experience. Now, again, the Starbucks example they talk about. Starbucks, you go to the Starbucks stores not because good ambience, good quality coffee, but also they give a free Wi-Fi. Of course, free Wi-Fi is not a very important thing at today, but they are offering free Wi-Fi long back. So you go to a coffee store, have a client meeting and interact with the client, complete your office work. So that's what they try to mess physical and digital experience. Not only the ambience coffee, but also digital experience. That natural history, Cleveland Museum Natural History, what the example I'm referring to. Suppose your flight get delayed for 5-7 hours. If the permit to go out and visit to a museum, or you have 4 hours with you, and if you want to visit the whole museum, it may take 3 full days. So you will not have the time. So you will visit to the items, which is artifacts, which is there in the museum, which you are interested. So they will give an iPad. From the big screen, you download those menus, those things, and then take that iPad to the different artifacts. So you will get the information about the artifacts. Who is the, suppose it's a painting, who is the painter, when he has painted. So all the details. If it is some other item, so you know the history of that. So that's what messing between physical and digital experience. That's what we have seen. So this is the first one. That's what I'm talking, customer experience, how it will have an influence on the customer experience. Second one is the operational processes. That's what the manufacturing organizations use technology to improve their productivity. I don't have to explain much, but I can give you one of the example. Very old company, a Chile-based company, mining company, and you know that in a mining company, a lot of disasters happens. It's open cast mining. A lot of trucks moves there. A lot of accident takes place. So all the trucks they move in the mining area are driverless. All the trucks move are driverless. And because of the conditions of the roads are not good, a lot of wear and tear happens to the tires. And the tires are huge, those trucks have huge tires. They put IoT, Internet of Things, in different places of the tire so that they can predict the health of the tire, so that they can do it before it comes to a stop. So that's what transforming operational processes, increase efficiency innovations. So Codelco talks about they're in the intelligent mining business. So why people focus about in operations about technology is that operational capabilities are less visible to the outsiders. If it is visible to the outsiders, your competitors, they will copy it. That's what we say that in the industry, you have to be innovative. If you are using any innovations, that will give you the advantage till your competitor are not copying it. And competitors are very smart. They will try to copy that in the 3 months time, and you will not be getting the advantage of that. So that's what we try to focus on, operational capabilities. Like if you go to Toyota's manufacturing firm, they use the lean manufacturing. Even if you visited the farm, you will not be able to know where they are using lean manufacturing. So that's what my point is, that if you focus on operational capabilities, that's the best of it. And instead of making decision based on past result, moving predictive management. That's what I was referring to. You can do the predictive management based on the data what you have with you. The third one, I am referring to the business model, which will have a big impact on building digital capability. So 5 areas I am referring to. So that's what 5 archetypes of business model reinvention driven by digital technologies. So first one talking about reinventing industries. Reinventing industries involves substantial reshaping of an industry structure. The example comes to my mind is that Airbnb. The number of rooms available in all the hotels and the number of rooms available in Airbnb is much higher. You can think about Oyo rooms. There was a car company. It's like your Ola, Uber. They started in London. That's called Hello. That cab service was very popular in Hello because the 6 people joined together. One is that 3 people who are actually cab drivers and 6 people are entrepreneurs. 3 people are entrepreneurs. These 6 people joined together to start their operations. After the successful operations, they started in Newark also. The second example I'm talking about Airbnb. You can talk about 1,000 examples in this case. So reinventing the industries involves substantial reshaping of the industry structure. Substituting the product or service. I was referring to in my first or second slide, I was telling that Kodak was the market leader. They no more exist in the market. But at the same time Kodak was existing, another company was there, but they still exist in the market because they little align their business. That's what I'm referring to. Fuji films. That's what they try to use the chemicals which they use to make films. So now they're using those chemicals to make panels, maybe computer panels, TV panels, because they little realign their working style, the chemicals, the process they use, so they still exist in the market. Now, all of you know that the postal departments, after this email courier services has come, they're not doing well. So one of the Scandinavian country postal company, PostNord, they try to offer whatever the services people given in the digital form, they offer to the postal department. So they still exist in the market. So they're doing equally goodly with the other departments which they are working. Creating new digital business. Like all of you go in the morning for jogging, walking, you wear with a Fitbit, which will take your pulse rate, blood pressure, how many steps you've gone, all these details. Today you have seen products, thousands of products available in the market, but the first company which thought about it is Nike. So that's what Nike Fuel Band, which you can wear it and go for jogging. It can keep track of things. As I said, once you become successful, people try to copy it. That's what many people have copied that idea. Now, reconfiguring value delivery model. One company, Volvo, they produce vehicles and they give it to the dealer, and dealer in turn give it to the customers. They don't directly discuss with the customers. So at a later point of time, Volvo thought that the dealer is getting all information about the feedback about the vehicle from the customers. We are not getting directly from the customers who are using our product. So they have changed the model to B2B and B2C. B2B is that the company Volvo to the dealer and dealer to the customers. The customer can directly give the feedback to now Volvo. So that's the benefit Volvo is getting, and they are not interfering in dealers' business. Finally, rethinking value proposition to target unmet need. Now, if you are a very innovative thinker, you can think of an idea which is not met by any industry at this point of time. If you can think of, that will be excellent. Like for example, a lot of insurance companies are there which may look very trivial to you at this point of time, but no insurance company was ready to insure people who are going it for hiking, going it for trekking for 5 days. So no company was insuring you for 5 days or 3 days or 2 days if you are going for a hiking or trekking or something. So one company called Tokyo Marine could think about this gap and try to offer the services. Now, if you go fly from place A to place B, you are insured. If you are moving in a train from place A to place B, you are insured. So that's what industry will copy that idea. So every time you have to be very innovative, and you are the domain expert, you can think about innovations in your area and try to find out the gaps which can help you to take you or do much better than your competitors. I talked about the first dimension. That's what digital capability. Let us focus about next 10 minutes on the leadership capabilities. That's what I told you in the beginning, that if you focus on one capability, that will improve your organization's performance. But if you focus on two, you will get the full benefit. You become a digital master. So leadership capability, if you see here, building leadership capability, they try to focus on 4 things. So they turn digital investment into digital advantage. 4 key elements of the leadership capability. Digital transformation starts when you create a transformative vision. First point, digital transformation starts when you create a transformative vision. Engage your employees to make vision into reality. People who work in the organization, they will make it happen. So engage your employees to make the vision into reality. Establish a right digital governance model. How to govern this model, how to take it forward, how to manage your people, and building technology leadership capabilities. That's what the 4 things I'm focusing again. Look to this. Digital transformation starts when you create a transformative vision. Engage your employees to make vision into reality. Establish a right digital governance model. Building technology leadership capabilities. Quickly, let us look into each of the things in next 10 minutes. And we can discuss, ask any questions. Vision matters, transformative vision matters even more. That's what leaders share, the common vision of digital transformation. Successful digital transformation starts at the top. In theory, we say that anything which starts in the top, it propagates faster to the bottom. Anything starts from the bottom, goes very slow to the top. So where should you focus your digital vision? Point is that where should focus your digital vision? 3 areas which you talked about in the digital capability. That one is that re-envisioning the customer experience. Re-envisioning the customer experience. The example I'm talking about, Novartis, a healthcare company. Now I'm referring to a patient when he's in hospital. Possibly you use all the care of the patient when he's there. But when he's getting discharged from the hospital, he's taking medication, going back home, you try to take care of that. Like whether he's relieved or whether he's taking the medicines properly or not. So that's what I'm talking about. Reinvesting the customer experience, you have to think about that. Next one, I don't have to explain, like reinventing the operational processes. Like one of the FMCG company known for its efficient supply chain management is PNG. That's what they are excellent in the supply chain management. That's what when you go to a store, you get the product. The third one talk about the reinventing the business model. That's what I am talking about, a insurance company product. That's what Tripsons are progressive. Now what Tripsons does is that they try to put a sensor in each of the clutch with the vehicle insurance they do. They put a clutch, they put a sensor in the clutch, and they try to know the driving habit of the driver, driving habit of the persons who is using that vehicle. So when you do the reinsurance at the end of the year, so based on the driving habits, they try to give some discount. If your driving habits are good, then possibly you will get a good discount. If your driving habits are not good, possibly you have to pay the full amount. So that's what, again, you have to think about innovatively about how to implement this business model in the organizations. So that's what the first one I'm referring to. Second one, engage your employees to make a vision into reality. Engage your employees to make a vision into reality. Use digital technology to engage your employee. Connect the organizations to give a voice to your employees, because if your 10,000, 20,000 people are working, they should be able to share their views. It's not that the top management is one thing they're implementing, but they can also give their views, and the top management, if it is necessary, they can take that input. So connect the organizations to give voice to your employees, so employees can speak about that. Open up conversations to give employee a role in digital transformation. Everybody should be a part of the process. Everybody should be involved in the process for digital transformation. If 10,000 people are working in the organizations, if 100 people are involved in the process, it will never be a good transformation process. Deal with digital divide by raising the digital IQ of the company. Many companies do different strategy how to reduce the digital divide. Like people at the age group of 55, 56, they will not change themselves because they will think that another 4 years there in the organizations, why I need to know about this technology. So that's what many organizations they do. They call reverse mentoring. Like people who are new joining to the organizations at the age group of 25, 26, they pair with the persons at the age group of 51, 52. So that we typically do mentoring. We seniors mentor to the juniors. Here we talk about reverse mentoring. The juniors will mentor to the seniors so that to reduce this digital divide. Deal with resistance by being transparent and open about the goals. If by 2023, I am going to achieve some of the things, I have to be very transparent. I communicate to all that this is what I'm going to achieve. And I also tell to them that if you don't change ourselves, possibly we will no more exist in the market. So the people's involvement in the process will be there if you communicate clearly, openly to all the people who are working in the organizations. Establish right digital governance model. So the governance model, I focus on two things. One is coordination, other is sharing. What I mean by coordinations, that your organizations have 20, 25 different things to be transformed. You have to transform all the processes what you use in the organizations. Now you try to focus on the prioritize the jobs, works to transform, which will give you the quick return, and that will convince all the people in the organizations that whether it is working or not. So that's what coordinations, we talk about prioritizing, synchronizing, aligning initiatives across the enterprise. Across the enterprise. What I'm referring to sharing, use common capabilities. Use common capabilities and resources like people, technology, and data. Like suppose you have a technology, a machine which is costing 10 crores. You cannot replicate 10 different machines. That has to be shared across the enterprise. Suppose you have a very qualified people. So they can be shared across the departments. Like that's what the data is not any single organization's property. That has to be single department's property. That has to be shared across the organizations for the organization benefit. So that's what in governance we are referring to. Focus about two things: coordination and sharing. Finally, we talk about technology leadership capability. So there you have to focus on assess the state of your IT business relationship. If you look to the literature, IT literature from 93, 94, people talking about you have IT strategy, you have a business strategy. So if you don't combine the IT strategy to business strategy, then you will not get benefit. So that's what IT strategy should be aligned with business strategy. There are a lot of papers. Anyone interested can have a look to one of the Venkat's paper, which is a very initial paper on this IT business relationship that will give a very good idea about how they combine, how they align the IT strategy with the business strategy. Assess your IT unit ability to meet the skills and speed requirements of the digital economy. Now you have people, you have a skilled people, whether you have to upskill, whether you have to recruit people from outside, skill people to recruit from outside, whether you have to acquire some organizations, that's what you have to, because suppose a skill is not there with you. Suppose you have to use blockchain, but your expertise is not in the blockchain. So you acquire a startup which is there in blockchain. So that expertise comes to the organization. That's what the speed will be much faster. Otherwise, if you go in a very slow speed, your competitor will do better than you, the faster than you, and they will take the pie of the uh, pie of the business what is available in the market. Start building the right digital skills. That's what I say, that how to approach to build your digital skills, new tools which you want to implement, that skills people you have to recruit, or you have to acquire a company who have that skill. So there are different strategies, and challenge yourself continually. You should not take rest once you do this job. It's a cyclic process. It never stops. So challenge yourself continually to find new things you can do with your IT business relationship, digital skills and platforms. So you never stop, you continue. It's a cyclic process. It's not that in the Porter's model, if you have studied, you do the things and take rest for next 3 years, and after 3 years, then again evaluate. The things are changing so fast. It's a dynamic world. So you have to look to every time that whether what need to be changed. So then only you will stay in the market. Otherwise, your competitors will make it happen that you will be out of the market. So that's what I thought of discussing in the time which Professor Ram has given to me. Thank you.